Welcome everybody to the channel. Today we are going to learn about onboarding experience that you can provide to your users in your iOS apps. We will go through what the human interface guidelines talk about the onboarding experience and the onboarding guidelines in the app that we can follow to make sure that we are not exploding user with the information, or we can follow what Apple suggests that is best for the app. Let's have a look at the guidelines first, and once we go through the guidelines, then we are gonna go through a SwiftUI app and see how we can show an onboarding screen which user sees once they first launch the app and not afterwards. So as you can see, we are on the onboarding guidelines screen for human interface guidelines, and we have a sample screen that's given by Apple. You show an image and then a text. It depends upon what your app and what you are trying to achieve with your onboarding screen. It can be multiple screens where you have some paging option and then user can scroll through your different pages, or you can have an interactive screen here where people click on some buttons based on the guidelines you give them, and then they can know what to do when they actually start using your app. Now let's see what the guidelines actually talk about. So you need to provide information to your users which help them enjoy your app and not just put all the setup information in your app. As we have gone through the launching experience, we don't want to bombard user with information that they don't need when they are launching the app. So it's same goes for onboarding. You don't need to provide any setup information. This is the information that they need to know once they are in your app. So let's get into the next one, which is get to action quickly. So as soon as user finishes reading through or going through your onboarding screen, as soon as they close the onboarding, they should know what to do with your app. So they should be ready to action on the items that you have in the app. Anticipate the areas in your app that you think user might need and help with, to know what to do when they are at that specific workflow in your app. Stick to the essentials in your tutorials on the onboarding. You don't need to explain your whole app. It should not be a replacement for the design of your app. You should still design your app in a way that it should be interactive and people should know what they are expecting from different screens. If people are still seeing guidelines or using comments in your app store, we don't know where to go, so you might need to rethink of your design of the app. You should not be spoon-feeding your design or your app to the people or what to expect from the app. You should make your onboarding experience as much fun as you can. As I told earlier, you don't need to stick to this static information, or just don't put a static image up there with some people, and then people don't know what that image means, because people can get different kind of assumptions from the image. So try to make it more interactive. If your app is complex workflows, try to explain how to use different controls in your app of the workflows. So I designed this app last year, and then this app is really about managing receipts. So I have put up this screen where I can tell user what to expect from when they are in the app, rather than just putting a blank screen when they open up the app. They can go and read about all this. Okay, this is about creation of receipts. We can organize receipts, we can track warranties and prices, so because there are widgets, and then you can tag your receipts. So as soon as I hit continue, so you see that I'm reusing that onboarding information again within the screen, and then user knows, okay, this is the screen where they can create, and they see a new create button, so they can quickly get into action rather than trying to figure out where to go. And I have explicitly added new receipt. If I have just added plus, user don't know what that plus means. It can be anything. So try to add as much information to your actions and make sure that users knows what they need to do. So your design of your app should be also interactive. Now let's look at the SwiftUI code that we want users, that I want you to know. The whole idea of these videos is how you convert those human interface guidelines into your SwiftUI code. So let's have a look at this simple code that I have here. You can check the link for the repo in the description, and also I will put the link to the app, so do download it and let me know your suggestions or any reviews for the app. So what I have here is a very basic app which has main content which will go here. So the idea of this code is not to explain you how you want to design your onboarding screen or how you want to design your main content. This is more like how you want to show your launch screen for the first time, and then when the user launches again they don't see it. So how you implement that in SwiftUI. So I have a simple H stick here, just putting VStack to make it center aligned. And then what happens when my app view appears for the first launch, I check whether it has been launched before. If not, then this sheet will be appeared on the first launch, and then once that sheet is dismissed, then we are gonna set app launched before to true. So the user defaults is a kind of a storage that we can use in our app that stays with your app. So once you delete your app, then the user storage also gets deleted. So if somebody can reinstall your app, they will again see the your onboarding screen again. And then I have created a launch view here which act as a content for that sheet, and which is just explaining just some content here, and then you have a button which you can use to toggle your screen. I could have used set the user defaults here, but this on dismissing is always gonna run when my sheet is closing. So if I would have another cross button on top of the sheet to close it, or maybe user dismissing it by swapping, so this will always run, so I don't have to handle multiple points where I need to set this user default. So let's run this app and see what happens. So when you run the app, you'll see that my onboarding view appears first, and it's a sheet, and when I click continue or when I dismiss the sheet, this will go away and user is immediately into my app. And then you see the animation helps kind of get the user a feeling that now they are into the app. So let's see what happens when we close this app and reopen it again. There is no onboarding screen. So this is how you can show the onboarding screen on your app. And in the next video we are gonna go through loading, how you show different kind of loading screens in your app, when your data is loading. So how you customize your, and then how you do it in your SwiftUI app. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and do let me know in comments if you like the video and if you want me to cover more. Thank you.